Hello and welcome to 8th grade art with Mrs. Beulah. I have the pleasure of teaching your children art this year. Just a little bit about myself before we get into the contents of the course. This is my 14th year teaching art and my 9th year here at JFK. I have my bachelor's in arts of digital arts from UMBC, and then I worked for a couple of years as a graphic designer before returning back to get my master's in art education from Hofstra. I have two children of my own, Avery and Reese. Avery is 6 and Reese is 3. And personally, with my art, my favorite art material to use are colored pencils. I love creating pet portraits for friends and family. And my artistic claim to fame would be a Newsday feature this past May, highlighting sidewalk chalk during the quarantine. So I had a few of my photos posted printed in the newspaper and an interview. Okay, so if you would like to get in touch with me, the easiest and most direct way would be email. You can email either email address. If you'd like to follow what's happening in the art studio, in the art room, you can follow JFK Art Studio on Instagram, and I post pictures of the students working and of their finished work. So if you have Instagram, please follow. You'll be treated to some really, really lovely and exciting pictures on there. And if you'd ever like to have a phone conversation, please just email me with your contact information and that request. It's a lot quicker and more direct than calling the main office. Okay. So the materials that are needed this year for class. So for every student, they should be bringing a pencil and eraser to use every day. Our artwork is created in pencil. A black Sharpie, thick and thin, and a ruler. Okay. Virtual artists will also need at home to use at times a pack of colored pencils, 12 count or larger, and a pack of markers, preferably 8-pack or larger. Okay. The Google Classroom is going to be our home base this year for all of our classroom materials and our grades and our projects. So under the classwork tab, all of the assignments and projects will be listed out and they will be turned in under their individual assignment tabs. We spent this past week practicing taking good quality photographs of our work and also how to upload those. So I told the students the easiest and most direct way is to download the Google Classroom app on their phone and to take a picture with their phone, and then it's just one step to turn it in after that. If not, we also practiced how to email it and then to upload it from our Chromebook. So by this point, all the students should be comfortable with that process, and that's how we're going to be handing in our work moving forward. Okay, students will receive their grades and their comments in Google Classroom attached to their assignment. Also, each project is going to be listed in there under a topic. The project directions, vocabulary, demonstration videos, everything's going to be posted in there so that the students have access to that information at any time. So whether they're virtual, in class, whether they are absent, or they're ready to move ahead a little quicker than the class, that will help them with their pacing and also with their understanding. Okay, some of the projects that we're going to work on this year. The first thing we're working on, we're calling a Zen Doodle. We're doing a silhouette design and we're creating emphasis on it through our use of line and pattern. We're practicing creating patterns right now and talking about all of our elements of art. How do we create unity? How do we create contrast? And those things. We are going to be learning about the proportions of the human face, working on shading to make it look three-dimensional with our form, through our values, and they'll be creating a portrait of someone. We're going to create a landscape painting, working with our color blending, with painting techniques, and also our use of space and composition. And then they'll be doing a still life study, so drawing from observation, from looking at something in front of them, focusing again on their shading, values, and proportions. So we have a little bit of variety of everything. So my hope is that your children find some things that they're really interested in, passionate, and most of all, proud of the work that they produce. While this year's art room might look a little different, whether they're in class and working at the desks instead of the big tables, or they're at home working virtually, I'm still trying to give them as much of an authentic art experience as possible, and hopefully giving them a break from working on their Chromebook in every class and really kind of getting back to working with their hands and creativity and enjoying that process. We're crossing our fingers, we're crossing our toes that we're still able to have our art show this spring. If it is able to happen, I will send plenty of details out at a later date. And again, if it's able to happen, every student will have artwork displayed. The art show is one of my favorite events of the year, and it was heartbreaking that we weren't able to do it last year. So again, cross your fingers for us, and hopefully that will happen this spring. And last, I just want to end it with the same thing that I'm repeating to the students almost daily is through everything, we're going to get through this together. We're going to support each other. I tell them I'm going to be as patient with you as possible. I ask the same in return. We're going to work through our challenges. We're going to adapt when things change. And most importantly, we're going to make this year amazing. So if there is anything that you ever need or have a question about, please don't hesitate to ask. And I hope that you have a wonderful evening.